welcome back to From the Mic Stand here on Artist Echoes. We've seen a brilliant show from the Cassette Apes for our first show of the year. It is amazing to be back. And now we're just going to chat to the guys a bit about them and their music and what they've been up to lately. So, how have you been?
Very well, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Not so bad.
So, for people who haven't heard anything about the band before, do you want to tell us about you guys?
Yeah, we're a punk, indie, new wave, whatever you want to call it, duo. We're based out of Buxton.
Sure.
Been going quite a while now. I've been going 8 years now.
Right.
Myself and George have been writing songs together a lot longer than that. Got quite a few releases out on a label called Rare Vitamin Records,
Right.
which is based in Northwich. And yeah.
So, how did that come about then, getting released on Rare Vitamin Records? I think that's quite a new thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Jason.
He found us, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was surfing on. We had a review on some punk webpage, I think. And
Yeah.
he was looking at the reviews on there, and I think he told me he liked the name.
Right.
And he asked us to support one of his bands. I can't remember who it was now. C33s,
Right.
which was actually over at Mash,
Yeah.
Mash Guru. And the relationship's just blossomed since then. Yeah,
Brilliant.
He re-released all our early work that we put out before joining with the label, and he's seen every release that we've done since then.
Sure. So, what's that meant? It meant you got him on CDs, vinyl?
Yeah, tape. He's big into his tape cassettes.
Right, okay.
So yeah, we've got loads of stuff out on tape cassette. Nothing out on vinyl. That's coming next, hopefully, with the next
Right.
release that we do. We are looking into vinyl at the minute, but tape cassette, CD, mini discs.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a very much a retro kind of vibe
Yeah,
over there. So,
yeah.
and it's very much like a labor of love for
Mm.
Jason. So he releases the formats that he likes: tape cassette, mini disc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, very retro.
And is it one of those labels that's been going forever, or is it a newer thing? Or do you know?
Going about maybe 10 years now, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
he's got some great acts on there. I mean,
Mm.
Battery Farm, they're doing very well now.
Yeah.
Band called Pagans, they're really
Mm.
good. We played with them quite a few times. So he's got a really eclectic mix of stuff on the label.
Mm.
But yeah, about 10 years he's been going.
Right. And for those people who don't know as much about you guys, do you want to tell us about some of the influences for the band?
Just gonna start arguments now.
Yeah.
Wide and varied. I mean, some of the early, more, like you said, more references than influences. But some of the
Right.
early stuff was Ramones, weren't it?
Ramones, definitely, yeah.
A lot of the early punk stuff. So a lot of the late 70s punk, Pistols, Clash, The Woods, The Jam, bands like that.
For me, stuff like Ian Jory, Bob Dylan,
Right.
Johnny Cash.
Hip hop's a massive influence on what
Yeah.
we do as well.
Yeah.
You know, we really like a lot of the early, well, I say early, you know, sort of late 80s, early 90s
Right.
rap, the boom bap type stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, loads of stuff, man. But Ramones are a big
Mm.
influence on it. A lot of the punk stuff, punk
Sure.
and the new wave stuff, Devo.
Yeah.
Yeah, bands like that.
And has the way you write songs changed, or that process at all? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've been talking about recently because we've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of writing. That there never seems to have been a consistent way that we write. Sometimes it was a bit more traditional, so we'd come up with the words. And
Right.
Come up with
Right at the
music.
beginning, I was very much doing the lyrics, he would do the music,
Um,
and we'd write separately.
Yeah.
Whereas now, everything, we write together all the time.
pretty much all in
Yeah.
the same room.
And
He's got just as much.
he
of
does
the
as
music.
much, yeah, he does as many lyrics as I do. I do
Right.
as much, try and have as much influence as I can on the music.
Titles man, me.
Yeah, John is the titles guy.
Right.
Every song, every
Yeah.
song names he's come up with.
it's an important job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he said, it has evolved. So
Mm.
yeah, there isn't really one set way in which we do things.
We wrote songs on Messenger.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Obviously, when COVID hit a few years back and we couldn't get together, we found ourselves managing to collaborate across things like, you know, WhatsApp, Facebook, and things like that. Just lyrics, and I'll send him a couple of beats across and things like that. So yeah, half the time now we've just been sat on the phone, haven't we? Like, oh no, you got another line.
And so, has the setup always been the same? Has it always been
Yeah.
guitar, drums?
Yeah. Well, the original plan was to start a proper band when we first started doing this project, the Cassette Apes project. But being from Buxton, there's either nobody or anybody that's any good is already taken.
Right.
So
Sure.
yeah, that's when we started messing around with the drum machine, and the guitar, and things like that. It just kind of stuck, really.
I think it is stuck now. I don't think even if the best drummers and guitarists came along now that we would go down that road.
Yeah.
We'd stay the way we are now.
It started as just a platform to do a couple of open mic nights, just
Right.
the early work that we written. most of the stuff that ended up being on the debut album. We just wanted to see what it was like playing it live, so we came up with this daft, stupid setup. Took it to a few open mic nights, and it just caught on. People thought it was great, so we stuck with it.
We have worked with other musicians. We've had drummers work with us, and we did some stuff in lockdown, didn't we? Collaborated.
Yeah, we did the collaborations EP, Thieves and Marauders.
So we know what it sounds like as a full band.
Yeah.
I think we prefer it the way it is. To be honest.
The honest answer, Mike, is we wouldn't subject anybody to my relationship. It's enter at your own will.
And you were saying you've got a single out at the moment?
Yeah, just released a single, Internet Famous. So we had a bit of a break in 2023.
Well, we took a year off. I took a year off.
Yeah.
It's just a PC way of saying you threw a fucking wobbler and wanted a bit of time away. So I buried myself in the studio.
Yeah.
And what did you do during that time period?
My mum was really poorly. I was looking after her, if you remember.
Down now. I was trying to keep it light. Yeah. George's mum got.
She had a fall. Got an elderly mother. She had a fall, so I had to spend a lot of time around there and helping her out and stuff.
So I buried myself in the studio, and when we got things back together at the start of last year, there was just floods of material. So obviously George had still been writing on the downtime. So we started. We got live shows together last year. Once we got back together, and we did quite a few shows, especially towards the back end of the year. Well, right at the start of this year, we decided to just start sifting through the hard drives and putting some of this material together. So, Internet Famous was the first song that we released, again, out on Rare Vitamin Records. I think there might be still a few physical copies out there. RareVitaminRecords.bandcamp.com. You can have a look for that. And we've made a video for it as well. George broke the bank and bought a load of... what did you buy? Green screens,
white screens,
lighting,
all sorts of
stuff.
Have a go at making our own videos.
So has it got a full-on story going through the video then?
To be honest, we had grand ideas, and then budget started playing a bit of factor.
That's why we better with a green screen.
So the compromise was we just performed the song in front of a green screen and just stuck loads of people who we thought were internet famous.
Behind us,
Fair enough. Yeah.
It looks rubbish as well. So we haven't even done a good job. You can see folds in the green screen and all that stuff. But it's on YouTube now. Internet Famous Cassette Apes. So have a look. Tell us what you think.
So what is next? Is there more singles? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of material there, and we have been, like certain stuff we think works together quite well, and then other stuff there's kind of a lyrical theme. So we were thinking, should we go down an album? Should we put this stuff out on an EP? But at the minute, with what we've just done with Internet Famous, we quite like the idea of just doing a run of singles at the minute. So kind of one song, one visual, and just see the kind of the rest of the year out like that, and just see, basically throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. You know what I mean?
So next single up is Helicopter Song.
Yeah, which we played.
I think we performed last time we were here.
We were in the show. Yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah. So the same thing. We're gonna. We've got a few shows coming up at the minute. We're playing in Sheffield on the 25th of April at Record Junkie, supporting a band called Resurgence, which are really good. And then we've got the Buxton Spring Fair on, is that the 5th? The bank holiday.
May the 5th.
Yeah, May the 5th. The bank holiday, yeah. After that, we haven't got anything until the festival season starts in July, so we're probably going to release the single around end of May, early June, something like that. But it'll be similar format as Internet Famous. I'm pretty sure Jason from Rare Vitamin will want to do some kind of physical copy. We'll do a video again. We won't give away any.
No, we've got some plans for it.
Yeah, we've got quite a good idea for it.
There'll be no helicopters in it.
Think Thunderbirds. That's all I can say. And yeah, kind of rinse repeat. So by the time we've got that single out, like I said, we've got a few festivals booked in July. Rare Vitamin's annual Diversion Festival. Hina Beer Fest. So by the time we've done the festival season, it will probably be the same thing. We'll release a new single, and we'll just keep going on that till the end of the year. Really, I mean, when we released our first album, we'd been touring like mad, and there was really the people were chomping at the bit for an album, weren't there? There was a lot of demand for it. So at the minute, because we had such a long time off, and then we spent so much time on the road, we're just trying to build a bit of that demand again for some new material, But there is going to be plenty coming this year. We've already put quite a bit out. We've released the Internet Famous single, as we've said. We did quite a big gig in. We've got quite a good following in the East Midlands sort of area around Derby and Nottingham. So we played in Langley Mill last week, and that was a really good show. We haven't played down there to a lot of those people since before COVID.
So yeah, a lot of people turned out.
Yeah, so we've just released the full concert on YouTube. You can watch the whole. It's a full full 2 hour show. You can watch the whole thing unedited. All his terrible mistakes and arguments that we have on stage and everything. It's all in there. So
warts and all.
yeah, Jason came to a lot of the shows last year. Jason from Rare Vitamin, and he recorded a lot of those shows. So we're talking with him about a couple of live EPs or live albums, something like that. So
good.
Yeah, there's just going to be plenty of stuff coming. There's we've got loads of stuff coming, but we haven't really kind of got a set plan, if you know what I mean. We're just kind of taking one single and one block of gigs at a time.
Yeah. Now, for people who want to follow you guys and get all the details about these singles, just want to remind people where they can find them.
Yeah, so obviously you can see everything at Rare Vitamin Records, as we've mentioned, which is rarevitaminrecords.bandcamp.com, but as well, if you search Cassette Apes on YouTube, just Google it. We're on all the streaming sites like Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, whatever you put.
YouTube, got our own YouTube channel.
Yeah, we've got a Bandcamp as well. There's some physical merchandise from there. You can get our debut album on CD. Yeah, everywhere. Just Google Cassette Apes, you'll find us.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for coming in and chatting with us this
No,
evening.
always playing.
Yeah, thanks for having us again.
It's been a great show. Cheers.